Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. The I thought I'd do a response. This is not exactly in the way that the hey, oops, I'm echoing. Where is it? Scroll up. There we go. So sorry about that. I had the Hangout playing in the background there, and I was hearing myself. Obviously, what I'm about to show you is well, for most of you, it's not new, and and it also does not meet the impossible criteria as laid out by Ranty. Okay. Now, notice I'm saying impossible criteria. Okay. Basically, what he wants you to do, he put out this little video, and I put a comment below it. You won't see it because Ranty has me blocked. The reason why people like Ranty have me blocked, and Ranty actually said it in uh, Flat Earth Debate 619 live. Somebody told me that I need to go over there and listen to that because they were talking about they had the dude on there. What was his name? Flat Hero or some shit. Who was explaining why he wasn't going to pay uh, Wolfie out and all this, claiming that he meant paper charts, but in his bet he never said paper charts. But nevertheless, and the dude was about to give in to that, as far as saying that he didn't specify. But Ranty actually says in that video, all by himself, he says, "Don't give anything to Globers. Never concede to anything that a Glober has to say." Now, that in itself means that no matter what you show Ranty, even though has taken more photos in support of the globe than I think almost any other flat earther. Ranty just he's Ranty. He's a flat earther, and like most flat earthers, if not the majority of flat earthers, it does not matter what you show them. It's still they're going to find some excuse for it, all the way up to the new and most recent atmospheric dome from Jeranism. But I lose you. But this is the thing. Ranty put out this little video here, and he's pumping up the tire on his car, and he's saying that pressure cannot exist without being in a container. Now, I'm going to say one thing because I'm actually an honest person who can concede to something. The point that he's trying to make here is that inside of this tire is obviously going to be a higher pressure than the air pressure outside. That part is obvious. Okay, that's why it has to be in a container. However, the he's using that as the analog for the atmosphere not being apparently being sucked off into the vacuum of space. And now, and he even alludes down here to some kind of money being involved here. So whatever. But you see, Ranty, have you never driven over a hill before? Okay, because while I will admit that when you put 28 pounds of pressure in here, if that's what it was, psi, he has there's a symbol up on the machine that says 28. Um, if you are putting that much pressure into here and all this, because the pressure here and here is different, then of course you're going to need to do that. Now you're going to use that as your analog to say the atmosphere is a higher pressure than a vacuum. Okay. But what you won't find inside of this tire is a pressure difference from ground level to the top of the tire. Okay, I would like to see you demonstrate that because both you and Riley, and and I guess by default also Nathan, have denied that very point or have deflected it. Okay, you use. I heard Riley come up with some kind of gradient table and stuff like that. These are gradients that depend on gravity. Okay, so you can put it whatever way you want, but you cannot demonstrate it without gravity. Now, yes, if you put 28 pounds of pressure in here, it is going to be higher pressure because it's in a container. You put a hole in here, and the high pressure is going to escape to the low pressure. Same thing with a swimming pool. Okay. However, a swimming pool is not in a fully round container, but if you go down to the bottom of the swimming pool and your your ears start pressing in, your eyes want to come out of your skull, okay, because you're like at 4 meters deep, 5 meters deep, okay. That's also pressure. And now the funny part about that is that that pressure, because the air above it, the air above the water is actually at a lower pressure than any of that water is. High pressure moves towards a low pressure, so therefore that water should actually be shooting out of the pool. Now, if that sounds absurd to you, it's because that doesn't happen. The reason why that doesn't happen is because a force, in this case, the force of gravity, is pushing down on the water. And as you go deeper down in it, there's more stuff sitting, there's more water sitting on top of the water that you're currently at that level. And therefore you have pressure, a pressure gradient that goes down and increases as you go down deeper in the water. It's pretty simple. You can actually demonstrate this that pressure. I mean, if you want to deny that it exists, which I really hope you don't deny that that exists, you can actually demonstrate this by getting a cylinder, and a relatively tall cylinder, one that you could fill up with water, and then put a hole towards the top, a hole in the middle, and a hole at the bottom, and then open all three of those holes at the same time. The water at the bottom will shoot out farther, the water in the middle will shoot out a little bit less, and the water up top will shoot out a lot less. Okay, that's a pressure gradient. Okay, this very same pressure gradient we actually experience in nature. Now, I did this not too long ago. I am at about 400 meters above sea level. I realize that I am not at 14.7, something like that, psi. I realize I'm not there. And but this was the point that I had to make. The point is, I put a container, okay, because this is to measure how much air is trying to expand. Okay, the air in here is currently at the air pressure that I am at where I'm parked right here. And I put a balloon on top of it, okay, to cover the top. But since the balloon is flexible, the balloon will show how much air is actually trying to escape because of the change in the pressure gradient as I drive up this hill. Now, I drive up 400 meters, okay, and that's just what that is, man. So I'm going to let that play in the background here. Like I said, this was just me. All I did, the only reason why I had a blanket here was because there was no practical way for me to prop this thing up so that the camera could watch it. Oh, I'm sorry, 382 meters. I got a barometer app going on right here. Okay, so, and I'll just let that play while we're going on. The point is, a higher pressure should try and escape by all means necessary to a lower pressure. Okay. That's also why when you are in a submarine, you obviously want your submarine to be of very high quality, because the higher pressure is trying to get to the lower pressure on the inside, therefore trying to crush it. Okay. That's just what that does. But um, but that happens only greater as you go deeper. Now, the same thing with air pressure. As you are closer to to sea level, okay, which is where I think it's 14 point whatever, 14 point whatever psi. As you go up in elevation, oops, your ears pop and all that other stuff, and all that neat stuff that happens when you go up there, or when you go up in a plane and your ears pop. That's because the pressure outside is reducing, so therefore the pressure around your head is reducing. Okay, and there's a little tube that's back there in your inner ear and stuff, and that's what makes it pop because of the pressure change. Now you'll see that I'm driving up here. You can pay attention to right here. This is the elevation that I'm at, and all I'm going to do is I'm just driving up here. Now, like I said, the air that was contained here was at the pressure that I had when I was parked. But as I'm going up, you're noticing that the balloon is starting to fill up. Okay, and I also made sure, even though you can't really see it here, but I made sure that I didn't. I had my windows cracked so that no pressure difference was was created by the car itself. And up here, you can kind of see it, but really you can't. Um, there's at one point you can see it, but up here you'll be able to see on my tablet that the uh, that my sunroof is cracked. I just wanted to make sure that the air around me was also the air pressure inside of the car. Okay, this is simple stuff. Okay, this is simple experimentation. Now, according to you, and according to all flat earthers about this, who like to argue the contained atmosphere thing, according to all of you, there shouldn't be any change in pressure as you go up because we're in a pressurized system, in a container, as you are claiming. But I'm sorry, that's actually not a fact. Okay? Pressure is caused by a force pushing down towards the ground, towards the center of the earth, by gravity in this case. Pressure is created by those things actually pulling it down. That's why it's not going off into space. Okay? This is happening at the molecular level. Okay? And that's why when you go up, the higher you go up, like if you go up to the top of Mount Everest, even the oxygen levels are so low that you can only move like a couple of feet before you got to take a break. Okay, that's why it's such an excruciating thing. If not, people would be riding their bikes up there. Okay, it's pretty simple. And what do you call it? So, as you can see, the balloon's filling up even more. This is air that was at the pressure at the parking lot. Okay, which is trying to escape because it's expanding. And because of the fact that I have a flexible balloon at the top, it fills up the balloon. This is easy stuff, and I don't know why all of you just don't get this. Okay, and I realize, but I mean, I understand why you're not allowed to get it. Okay, I understand that you're not allowed to get it because you're not allowed to believe in gravity. You're not allowed to believe in gravity because gravity would make the Earth round. You're also not allowed to believe in gravity if you're a religious person in the flat Earth community because of the fact that the creation of the Earth having to do with gravity obviously contradicts the creation of Earth by God. Okay, so that's just it's so it's so. I mean, I just don't even know where to begin with. I mean, this is stuff you can do yourself. You don't need to make a bet about it. Okay, this is silliness here, absolute silliness. Okay, because what you are denying is the very thing that we all experience. We all experience this drop in pressure as you go up, and there is absolutely no excuse for a drop in pressure as you ascend without gravity. See what I'm saying? No container, no pressure. Yeah, keep thinking that, man. So let's see, and I'm about halfway up the hill now. So let's see. Do I have any flat earthers in here that don't understand this? That's right, Barry. That's my anti-theft stick. Hey, critical think. What up? Oh, I'm sorry, mad cynicist. Where was I doing flat Earth here? I'm debunking the claims of flat earthers. This was not about the Earth, even though it is about gravity. So technically, it is about the Earth. So deal with it, buddy. What? No other flat earthers? What do you mean pressure is pushing on the container from where? I don't understand what you mean by that, Shane. Pressure is not pushing on the container. As a matter of fact, the air was compressed as I was in the parking lot. I put a balloon over the top of it. As I'm going up, the pressure is decreasing So therefore, it is the air inside is expanding, trying to escape. So the same gravity that's allowing them to rise is the gases that keep them stuck. Nothing about that sentence made sense, man. So the same gravity that's allowing them to rise is the same gases that keep them stuck around the Earth with a gap of about 100 kilometers? Nothing about that made sense, man. Oh, I caught that the other day on the one that somebody pointed to me that Ranty is actually saying that Flat Out Hero did not specify paper charts, so therefore he did win. But flat earthers don't pay out because in the same breath, Ranty specifically said that you should never give in to what flat earthers say, or should never give in to a what a globe says. Show me your edge. Vacuum. What edge? Do you see me going through a do you go through a container wall when you descend in water? John Sharp? The atmosphere, who said it was attached to the earth? It's drawn to the earth, dumbass. There's a gap of 100 kilometers in between. 100 kilometers where? Where is there a 100-kilometer gap in the atmosphere? You have about 2 minutes to tell me. Probably shouldn't have told you that because now you're just going to kind of talk around it. Okay, well then don't answer me. I mean, what else am I expecting? Why would that be a gap? He says a gap in the atmosphere. Oh, he did it on paper charts earlier today? Fucking cool. What gap are we talking about there, Mad, whatever the hell your name was? Right, because you see, vacuums, even though the vacuum machine that we have in our houses, vacuums don't actually suck things; they are just devoid. That's all. Gap between the ground and the place in space where the atmosphere ends. Yeah, but you said that's the gap in the atmosphere. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Oh wait, that's right. You're not answering me. How is that a gap of anything, dude? The gap where airplanes fly and clouds live. How is that a gap in anything? Independent to the earth. What? You're still not explaining yourself, dude. The mind gap. I agree, Kira. You are saying in between that is gravity. No. Who said that? Who says that the are you saying that are you claiming that I'm saying that gravity only exists in the atmosphere? Is that how I'm reading that? Yeah, I think the gap is a little bit closer to you there, buddy. Oh, be right back. See, now he's got to be right back. Yeah. By the way, yeah, there's a I'm sure there's some Black Friday sales at the Gap. Play the video that I was playing before. Which one are you talking about, Dang? Talking about the Ranty's video or the video that I have up on the screen right now? Taking a break, but oh, I'm sorry. You come to me, and now that I'm asking you questions, now you need to take a break? Tell you what, how about you gather your thoughts, try and figure out what the hell it is you're trying to say, and then go ahead and post comments below this video once it renders. Hey, thanks, Chris. How they would explain how altimeters work on a plane. Yeah, don't ask me, man. They'll come up with something. The one I have. Oh, you want me to play it back? Well, I was actually gonna just play the downhill one in a second because I filmed up the hill and then down the hill. Hold on a second here. That one I have to make sure of before I do that. So I guess Mad, whatever his name is, ain't gonna talk. So guess he needed a break, you know. Let's see. Oops, nope, that's not it. Let's see. We'll get the downhill one here. That's this guy. Whoa, that's loud. I just gotta make sure that I'm not looking into the camera. Much as y'all love to see my face. All right. Here we go. I'll put it like this, just in case I actually do end up looking at the camera. I don't remember. This is me going down the hill. Same balloon, untouched. Is that about the height of Pikes Peak? Well, Grosse Feldberg, I think is like 900 meters. I don't remember how high Pikes Peak was. I've actually been up there. Long time ago. Long time ago. Um, well, let's find out. Hold on a second here. Pikes Peak. Uh, Pikes Peak is. Oh no, it's a wee bit bigger. Pikes Peak is 4,302 meters. Grosse Feldberg is a little bit smaller than that. That would be a good thing, Red. I would like to see you do that. So let's see who else we got here. I hear that Flat Out got pregnant looking at my face. Well, that could be interpreted many ways, I guess. So, no other flat earthers here? Nobody else want to complain that, I'm somehow faking this? This is me driving down the hill, by the way. And you'll watch how far down this goes because it actually recorded a lot longer than the other one. Or at least my descent was a lot faster, is the better way to say that. No other flat earthers, huh? Well, everybody do me a favor if you would. At some time, if at your leisure, if you want to. The let's see, John Blunt is a flat earther. Okay, well, I haven't seen him ask me any questions. Who is John Blunt? I don't see a John Blunt up here. Oh, John Sharp, you mean? Yeah, I got you. Now I understand why you said John Blunt. Yeah, well, let's see. Still like to see this vacuum next. Dude, what part of this are you not getting? John Sharp, you said still like to see this vacuum next to air pressure. What part are you not getting about this? The pressure gradually decreases as it goes up to eventually become a vacuum. The air is held to the earth, and this pressure gradient is created by gravity. What part of that are you not getting? Please respond. Which part of that are you not getting? 6 feet off the ground at North Pole. Yeah. You've never. I'm showing it to you, dude. Has your have you ever been up in an airplane, John? No, I understand it's not a perfect vacuum then. Otherwise, we wouldn't have nebulas. John, have you ever been up in an airplane before? Or driven over a really tall hill and your ears popped? Have you ever done that? John Sharp needs a container. I agree. John Sharp, have you ever gone up a hill and your ears popped due to a decrease in air pressure? I know it's a difficult question because then you have to actually stand up for answering it, but go ahead. Come on. You have. Okay. What caused that to happen? What caused that pressure change to happen? Or, even better, did you go through a container barrier to get to those two different changes in pressure? No plane in his parents' basement. You have a gradual change in pressure to get to the vacuum. Yes. Are you getting that now? Hey, thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. No, Ranty was just filling up a tire and saying that that's how our atmosphere works. Come on, John. I mean, when you go down to the bottom of a pool and you got high pressure there, and you come up to the top, at a point, there's no more water because, you know, I mean, are you getting this, man? Look how bad that thing got sucked up. What am I saying? Oh, like I didn't explain that before, Mad. What are you saying causes pressure on Earth? Simple. Gravity. Next. Oh, you weren't here before. And yet now you're saying you're back. And we were all commenting on why you left. So you were here before. What do you mean explain more, please? I have already explained it. What do you need explaining? Okay, I'll just put it to you like this, Matt. If I came over and if I had 6 of you and I put one of you extra on your lap, that's creating pressure on the one below it. Okay, put another one up on that lap, even more pressure on the 2 below it. You getting what I'm saying here? And what's causing that force downwards? Fe pile. I know Mad's a troll. Because I already explained all this and he's acting like I didn't. So unless he had short term amnesia as he walked away from his keyboard. Yep, it's gravity. I'm showing you that right here, dude. I'm showing it right here. When I started at the top of this hill, the balloon was full. That means there was this much air. This was equal pressured all the way around. Okay? As let's see, I'm about 300 meters down the hill now, and it's compressing. It is pressurizing. Have you never been to the bottom of a pool before? Because we have pressure, we have wind, right? You're mixing up storm pressures, man. That's a meteorology question, which has a lot more fun things to do. No, Mad, don't worry about everybody else, man. Answer me. Clearly, the angle of attack. Well, it's pretty clear to me that neither Mad Scientist or whatever the other putz's name was, neither one of them is interested in knowing anything. You're just here to be. You're trying to understand how pressure and wind work together. Well, you know what? One interesting question there. How would wind be even started in a pressurized system as Ranty claims it to be, like in his tire? I know, Sean, I know he doesn't want to. He's not going to answer me because I'm giving him the most obvious and simplest ways to know about pressure. But nevertheless, so Ranty, I'm pretty certain I didn't meet the way that you wanted this to be displayed, but I debunked the premise of your claim, which was that pressure cannot exist without being in a container. Okay, so that's, you know, I'm not expecting to win anything here, but the simple part of it is I'm displaying to you pressure right here and how it works. Okay? Pressure works in a gradient from ground level upwards, and it lowers as it goes up to eventually what we call the vacuum of space. It's the whole reason why it's still down here. Because if not, then it would be either A, equal pressure all the way up, because a gradient wouldn't exist in the container that you're talking about, or the higher pressure, it would be in constant flux because the higher pressure, which is at at lower levels, would be trying to escape to the lower pressures unless it was being acted upon by a force. In this case, guess what? The force of gravity. It works in air, it works in a pool, it even works with solid objects. Okay? You stack up bricks, sooner or later, the bottom bricks are going to give out. Okay? So, that's all I really had for this evening. I saw that video today, and since Ranty doesn't his own words, Ranty says that you shouldn't concede anything to a Glober ever, um, which is why he has me and other people who have debunked his work in very clear terms. That's why he has us blocked on his channel. So I figured, I'd go ahead and just make this quick video about it. This is the easiest. This argument of almost all others, the air pressure thing is probably the stupidest flat earth argument that exists. It really is. Okay? So, that's all I had. Ladies and gents, I appreciate y'all stopping by. And to all my favorite visitors, thank you for stopping by as well. And you guys have yourselves a nice night.